Cub and Chub.
Wait, so it's just like a little shot, basically, that you sip on?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Capri Sun, but
But for ancient Chinese medicine?
yeah, it's melding our worlds together.
What does it taste like? Ginger or
It tastes like prune juice.
prune? Oh, okay.
So I don't think it's prune juice, but so it's purified water, chondroitin, glucosamine, hydroxine, sugarcane, of course, and alcohol, and potassium. So
Can I tell you? I think Tim, you were. Let me think back. I think you were the first non-white roommate I ever had. And with that said, when we lived together, I had no culture shocks. Like I didn't have like any like, like that didn't happen.
also, but we didn't like. I made efforts to shield myself from that.
Fair. I mean, there were like care products in your bathroom that like obviously
and it was in my bathroom.
Right. That kind of stuff. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. The one thing that was wild the first time I saw you do it.
What was use a washcloth?
My mind was blown. Whoa, what is a wash? No. The first time I saw you walk into the kitchen, dump salt in your hand, and then lick it because of your cramps was like I was like,
Listen,
is this a black thing? Like, am I not aware? Like, what?
I don't think it's a black thing. I think it might just be a thing.
I don't.
Like,
did you explain
actually,
it?
it might be a thing because it was my mama that did it. Ooh, bleep those names out.
Oh, I'll bleep them all out. I'll bleep them all out. But yeah, no, I remember just sitting on the couch, probably in my underwear, and you walk in and you're like, you got that cramp face. You're like,
yeah.
Ooh. I'm like, oh, you okay, baby? And you're like, oh, cramps. I'm like, oh no. And then I just saw you go to the cabinet. It may have been pink salt. I don't even know. But you
it was Himalayan pink salt.
It was bougie ass salt that you poured into your hand and then licked out of your hand. And I was like, there's so many things happening right now. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Girl, I don't have Charlie horses. I have cramps.
You get them really bad. Yeah.
Like I'm not trans. But like I just have horrible cramps. And I get them from like my mother used to have them and I would look at her and be like, what the hell? Like, why are you getting all these cramps? But it's just a genetic thing, I guess. It's just like if my diet gets thrown off from what it usually is, like I could be going from unhealthy to healthy and I'm getting cramps.
Yeah.
Or if I go back from healthy to unhealthy, I get cramps. Like it's just the electrolyte balance in me is very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And I've now found a really good electrolyte mix that helps me keep things together.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so like I don't get that much of cramps, but like especially when I was on that 500 calorie diet, that's my shit would cramp up at any moment. Like I would be at work and I would bend down to get something, cramp. And it would be like a cramp for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would be like, boom, out the door because I'm not sitting there and be like, Because, I mean, unbeknownst to you, I was dying. Like, I know it. You say the cramp phase, but really it's like trying to not cry. Like,
no, I mean, I could tell you were wincing. Like, I felt bad. I was like, oh no.
It feels like somebody punching me in my metaphorical ovaries. And it's just like, I don't understand why I have to go through this.
Yeah.
Not saying that like, specific people should, but I just feel like I shouldn't.
That's right. That's right. Treat me better.
Yeah, I feel like the universe should treat me better
Yeah.
than
No,
how it treats me.
I lucked out. I didn't inherit mom's like allergies and like sinus issues. What I did inherit, Tim, I got my dad's feet. Dad, if you're listening, I love you. This is not personal. We both know what's up.
No feet.
My dad, like, I remember being a kid and seeing like my dad would like have his feet up on the couch or something. So he was in his like 30s, 40s, and his feet just wild.
I think it's a male thing because my dad as well. My dad used to pick his feet. Like,
So
yeah. Okay, we can't talk about it. Okay.
yeah, no. Like, yeah, no. I inherited that issue with my feet,
Yeah.
and luckily I've been trained. Thank you, partner in crime. We have a routine. We have some CeraVe, lotion. We've got a nice
Because he
scrubber.
probably got tired of kissing you after you get in bed and then like feeling your feet.
Okay,
like,
all right. JC,
feeling
I'm
your
back
feet,
up.
like-
And as Stop
Feeling your
talking-
feet,
Listen,
scratch him up.
we can't talk about me kissing Al in bed every week on this podcast. JC on
It's only been 2 weeks.
I know, it's still too much. It's still too much. So we have a routine. My feet are better now, but they quickly go like they go
Rogue.
back to rogue and wild,
Yeah.
feral, real quick. like
Wild horses.
they're just so bad, and so it's like Monday I'm like I got them, we're on it, and then Wednesday it's like man I gotta get them again because my feet.
Well, it's just their skin, and they're at the ends of your body.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're getting the last of everything. So
Yeah, this is
including
true.
moisture. So it's important to get your Eucerin out, your Aquaphor, your petroleum jelly, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Get it out and buff those feet out. Get you one of them petty things and scrape the shit off.
Get that shit out of there.
Yeah,
So
it's very important because you'd be surprised at how much better your feet feel when you treat them well.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tim, if you had to spend the rest of your life in the ocean or in space, which one would you choose?
Can I breathe in space?
Assuming that you could be habitable and live, yes, in either.
Okay. I'm going to say space because, like, it seems infinite and there's always something new to see, and I won't be on Earth. So, because I want to leave. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. I think I would go space over ocean. I think I'm more interested in space, but I'm also more scared of the ocean. Like there's some,
Yeah, I'm actually really fearful of the ocean because
Yeah.
I just don't believe that I will be able to live.
yeah, I mean, like even if I can figure out a way to live in the water, it's like it's murky. There's shit out there that wants to kill me.
Yeah, there's sperm from the whales and
There's sperm of the sperm whales. It's wild.
yeah, and I don't. That's
Yeah.
not my tea. Like
I'd rather float to the moon, float to
the
Saturn.
dolphins might try to fuck me. I don't want to do
The
that.
dolphins are rapey, and it's like
Yeah.
no.
And if that doesn't happen, the orcas are gonna kill me. Like
Do you ever like? Does the idea of space and infinity do you think about that, and does it leave you in awe? Are you kind of at wonder with that kind of stuff, or are you kind of like, man, I'm not interested, whatever?
if I think about it, I don't often think about it, but
Yeah.
like mostly I just think that we're in the middle of the middle of the middle of nowhere on a rock paying bills. That's most of the time what I think of.
Yeah.
Like this society has created bills out of all the things they could have done with all the matter that's out there.
Yeah.
Um, I have a biology degree, and so I think about like the science of it a lot, but like I think it's very fun to see the similarities in things.
Yeah.
Just like um how a lot of plants mimic body the like they mimic what we look like in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
Like even our like muscles, the things that we eat from animals literally look like the muscles that, I see when I like see autopsies and stuff from dead people. So
Mm,
like it's very, I think of it in that way, how similar like nature and space has created things, and
yeah.
like the repetitiveness,
Mm,
but also still creative.
yeah.
And yeah, I think of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the kind of person I can like get lost on like the History Channel's like planet episodes and space episodes.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love that shit. Al came in the room the other day and he saw me watching it. He's like, I thought you were scared of space. I was like I no, I actually really like space. And I think what he was thinking of, he he sent me some TikTok of somebody talking about an asteroid that was like
Yeah.
coming by or zipping by the planet. But I am triggered like when people do asteroid stuff, what they
Mhm.
do is they show the rock like hurtling towards Earth.
Oh yeah.
And what they're talking about is like, oh, there's an asteroid that's nearby, but they get your attention by showing like it's about to impact. I am
Yeah.
triggered by such imagery, like in headlines. I can't
Oh.
when I see like when there's news headlines and they're like, oh, there's like one approaching or like passing by us closely. Again, it's always like hurtling towards the earth, not like a rock that
Yeah.
imagery
But like,
triggers me.
but like the thing about it, when they say it's close to Earth, they mean like it's closer than Venus is. Like it's
Right.
not. Like
It's
it's
still
not.
it's still a
Yeah.
million miles away. And it's
And
like,
by the time it even gets close to Earth, it will be burnt up because
yeah,
it's probably mostly ice. Like,
yeah. So they're just reporting that there's something nearby, but they're showing a stock image of it
yeah, something that's
destroying
like,
the dinosaurs. And I'm like,
yeah,
what do you I can't so this is one of the many reasons that North
not
Korea
the like,
I just, oh yay. Oh wow. Did
yeah,
you get to watch that as a kid?
reruns.
Reruns. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, that was a throwback. I was like, oh God. Um, yeah. I was just thinking about that there. I was like, oh, I wonder if Tim's an ocean person or a space person. I knew you weren't an ocean person. I just didn't know if you would
No,
be.
I think the ocean is beautiful, but I also like know that it's dangerous.
Yeah, we had our Titanic, the ship talk earlier.
Yeah, like
We're not
why
supposed
would
to
you do that? Like I don't get it. It's not for me.
no.
Anything above my knee is too far. Like,
Amen. See your knees. Also, reoccurring theme. Your knees.
yeah, my knees, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I just want somebody out there that is in love with me to be thinking about my knees at all times. So,
Oh, okay. Hey Chris, how you doing? So when you oh yay! Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So speaking of
of all the people, really.
see, you knew exactly who I was talking about. You little you dick.
I really didn't like it. I have so many Chris's in my life, to be
You
honest.
do have a lot of Chris's.
Like-
You have so many Chris's. It's dumb. Speaking of exes, do you want to talk about what we were going to talk about?
Well, I mean, if you want to, we can. It's clearly up to you because I have no issue.
No. I'm fine to go into it. I think it's fun when we talk about things that we're not comfortable talking about or digging into, because I think people think that we're pretty much an open book, but
And I'm actually not like the shit that I tell you versus the things that are actually going on in my life and have been going on in my life. like vast difference.
Yeah, we have boundaries.
Yeah.
And so Tim, do you want to prep the audience with what you had proposed to me yesterday?
So there was a TikTok that I saw that was talking about ways to figure out how society views you in a 1 to 10 scale. You take all of your exes and maybe even current people and you rate them, and then you take the average, and that's probably how society rates you.
Right.
And Bear said he didn't want to do that because he was afraid of the outcome.
So yeah, so Tim, explains this to me, and then eventually I watched the video he sent me, and it's actually a very interesting, like, kind of conversation they're having about this piece. And it would be a very interesting thing to do. However, there are a couple things I'm like, Tim, I've only dated like so many people, like very few people I have dated. So it would be a very small number of people. Tim, you didn't even start. The way Tim approached me on this, he goes, I need pictures of all your exes. He just sent me an ominous text just saying, I need a picture of all your exes for tomorrow's podcast. And I was like, hi, Tim. It's good to hear from you. What is this about?
I'm sorry. I thought that you trusted me.
Yeah.
And also, like,
what are we doing?
You act like we didn't talk to each other for like weeks or something.
Wait. So the idea, the concept is it's a fun like thing to kind of do, right? That you take your exes and I think of myself as an 8, but when somebody else reviews my exes, they are an average of 5, which is probably more close to what I am perceived to be in society. It's an interesting thought experiment. The idea that I would let Tim rate the people I've dated, including my current partner that he knows and has met multiple times and is very friendly.
First of all,
stop. I'm just let me say my piece. The idea that we would go through, like, again, 3 or 4 people. I don't date. I don't date a lot. And more than 50% of those people actively listen to this podcast and know my history. So the idea that Tim would rate them, and I'll say this, there was also the caveat that I was pretty sure that Tim would rate them low because they're all white. And Tim is not historically attracted to white people.
It's not your, but
it's not, it's, well, it's the way I perceive your feedback on white people is generally that you are not attracted to them. If that's incorrect, that's just the vibe I've been getting for the last few years.
Listen, white people are a broad spectrum of people.
Sure.
I don't like whiteness. It's a difference.
Yes, agreed.
I do not enjoy whiteness. White people who exhibit whiteness are not my cup of tea.
Sure.
But not all white people exhibit whiteness.
Okay. I can follow that logic. Every day. Every white person's got some whiteness in them, right?
I mean, you would be a 1 in 1 trillion person to not have any semblance of whiteness when you've been raised and steeped in it. Like,
yeah, when you're raised in mayonnaise, you're mayonnaise. No, I get it. But so back to the topic. Because of that perception I have, like,
which is your perception,
which is my perception. But I was like, what? So Tim, who's not attracted to white people, is going to rate these 3 white people I've dated, one of which I'm currently actively dating, and it's like that could get a little awkward. Tim, I don't know that I actually want to like go through that.
But you don't know that I would. You don't know that I wouldn't be nice.
Well, so I mean, we've been friends a long time.
Wow.
I was like,
also, I think I would. I I actually knew that I knew what I was going to say before I even said it. So,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
it was going to be fine. But anyway.
Well, I felt weird about going through with the bit. I think
fine. I get
what
it.
I thought about?
You have an idea of how I am / what your partners are, and that's fine.
Oh, I know what my partners are, but that's not your cup of tea. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm very satisfied with what I got, but
And you should be.
right. But so that's the thing. It's like, well, I don't want you to like rate people low, and then
But
I got to
you know
answer
what?
to it, and like, oh no, fuck that.
You really think that I'm going to sit up here and be like, ooh, chop? Like, that's not.
I was scared. Yes.
First of all, it's based on what you like, not based on what I like.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you don't like everything that I picked out.
No, wait. Now I'm really confused. Wait,
I mean,
were
you
gonna
said it
have
today.
me rate my people, or were you gonna rate my people?
You were going to rate them.
Oh, I was gonna rate my own people?
Yeah. And
Oh,
I was going to.
Well, then that doesn't work for the experiment, because I don't think that would work then. If you rate the own people that you're dating that you're probably already attracted to, you would rate them higher. I'm going to rate my people higher than you would rate my people, I would say, and vice versa, depending on our taste and what we're into, right? It's like, oh.
I don't know, though. You probably would rate mine a lot higher than I would. Because I go by personality.
This I after we decided not to do it, Tim, I thought about it. I'm like, I could have just excluded, like, do you know what I mean? I could have excluded current partners.
You
and
could
like,
have excluded. You could have added fictional people. Like
I could have done this in a way that the people, like my current and exes that listen, may not be as offended. But yeah, so
I was gonna add people that you didn't technically date.
Fair. People we played volleyball with or kickball with or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Well, I appreciate the thought. You were really trying to get a bit going, and I was like,
Listen,
girl.
I'm a producer, and you shut it down, and it's fine. You know,
I appreciate you trying to think like outside the box and like come up with a bit. I'm very sorry.
but you know what? Quiet luxury. I get it. You're a famous like gay J now, and you can't be out here just saying things because it's gonna come back to bite you. You know.
I love that bit with Tina Fey, and I thought that was perfect.
It's true. Bob and Monet had talked about it.
Oh, did they do it on a previous episode?
No, it wasn't Bob and Monet. It was Big Dipper and
Meatball.
They had talked about it with Ben de la Creme. Yes.
Oh, okay. That Ben was too famous to have a real opinion on things?
Well, that they are getting too famous to start having like real opinions on people.
Yeah, I went back and listened to the episode where I can't think of their names all of a sudden on La Culturistas.
Bo and Chang.
Bo and Yang, and I can't remember the white guy's name. Anyway.
Matt Rogers.
Matt Rogers, look at you. Matt and Bo.
I know a couple, off the beaten path people.
I did go back and listen to the Bowen episode where he talked about how he didn't like Saltburn, and I was like, yeah, I think you might be too famous to say a person trying to get booked in movies and like, I was like, girl, I don't really know what you...
I mean, I just assume that's why we haven't gotten any like...
we're just being hateful on all these queens. Yeah, we're not getting booked anywhere.
We're not getting booked. Like, no. Target doesn't even want us.
No. No store displays, no nothing. Sad.
So you hate me, and you think that I'm a horrible person. And that I rate people low for some reason.
I was worried about some stuff for that bit. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Worried. It's fine. No need it to be, but it's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I overthinked it. I should have just rolled with it.
No, you just don't trust me, and that's fine. That's cool.
On the next episode, we'll talk about trust. We can get
No,
into
you think you know me, and that's fine.
We can get into trust issues.
You
If you
know,
want to dig into those.
your Virgo rising thinks you know me.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what the rising and setting stuff means. It's so confusing.
So your rising is is the mask that you give off to people. So like what people think you are.
Okay.
So my rising is Sagittarius.
Okay.
Don't ask me what Sag people do.
Yeah,
I don't really know Sag. I don't know like the traits to name them off for Sag.
Yeah.
My sun is Gemini. My Venus is Gemini. Venus is like how I love, how I want to be loved. Yeah.
Okay.
My moon, which is how I emote, like my emotions, is in Aries.
I feel like these are just terms to allow people to have multiple personalities so they don't have to stick to like their one category. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing. It is a very Gen Z thing.
Yeah, sure.
And you're not wrong, but we do things too. Like we talk about
no. I'm not
how undiagnosedly depressed we are. Or like
yeah, no, I'm not. I don't want to yuck the yum. I'm just like, oh, so it sounds like we're just finding ways to interpret different signs into our crazy personalities, right? Like it's like, oh,
it's something to talk about on a first date.
We're more complex than we're more complex than the one sign, which is fine. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I would say that I'm pretty Gemini, but.
But I don't. Besides Scorpios being horny, I don't really know anything about my sign or other signs.
Well, the thing about it is, like a lot of Scorpios, are actually the 13th. There's another like sign that nobody talks about. It's like Ophidians or something.
What?
Yeah, they're like. Listen, okay, so shout out to Dr. What's his name? I think he's so fucking hot.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll definitely check him out.
You wouldn't think he's hot. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He gives dad vibes in a different way. I do like Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I'm not sexually attracted to him.
I am a pioneer. So when I think somebody's hot, it's based on the root of them. So like if you go back in pictures, like if you go back to the days where he was actually a stripper, you will see
something. Yeah.
You will see that he is really nicely built. And I think he's cute now. I've always thought he was cute. But anyway, so he said something that there's actually 13 signs and Orphidian, something like that. A lot of Scorpios are actually Orphidian because the sun is in Orphea most of the time. I don't know. It's or something, but look it up. It's a thing, and you might not be. You might be a Scorpion. A Scorpion. You're definitely venomous sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you give cusp, because aren't you like a Scorpion?
Yeah, most things tag me as Sagittarius.
Yeah.
But whenever I read the Sagittarius and Scorpio horoscopes, I always feel drawn more towards the Scorpio. So I've always just identified as Scorpio. Tim, what's making you live this week?
All right. What's making me live is fast fashion. So, specifically Shein. I got some clothes from there, and they fit my body. And I have tried going thrifting and doing the recycle clothes thing, which is usually not a good thing, and it's because nobody thinks about fat people in there. sizing needs. So, yeah, living for shouting them out. Got a few pieces, so I'm happy to have some different clothes.
My entire Beyonce outfit, Sheen.
Yeah,
Head to toe. Fucking love it.
Shein is a wonderful.
Mm. Good stuff.
What about you?
I am living for the show called Shogun. I have been watching the shit out of this show for the last 3 weeks. It's filling that like drama, family, Game of Thrones hole that's been in my life for a while. Like it's a good just drama and some sex and some war and some like families fighting about land. I don't know why, but I post Game of Thrones, I love that shit. And so this show is really, really good. It's done really, really well. They paid money to make it look good. It's on FX because FX is now doing prestige TV. Who knew?
Listen, FX has been doing some things. Like they had Fargo. Was it Fargo?
Yeah, they did Fargo. They've had a lot of really good shows. They do
I mean, they had Nip Tuck. So
they did. They're good for like. It's not that they've made bad TV shows, but this is money.
yeah,
This is like that's the
budget.
difference. This is budgeted, and it's like, oh, we're doing that. So I usually will check out their like indie darlings comedies or like low budget kind of stuff. But this is like, oh, this is like really good. So yeah, Shogun, check it out if you're in a post Game of Thrones lull and you were waiting for something. I would recommend that to people if they're interested. So check it out.
Nice.
Tim, where can people find us?
You can find us anywhere you can find Chinese medicine. You can find it on Google.
Oops.
You can find it in the East. You can find it now in the West. But mostly and importantly, you can find it at cubandchub.com.
That's right, cubandchub.com. You can go there to figure out where you can get our merchandise, where you can listen to us if we're doing any events. Yeah, check it out, cubandchub.com. You can also message us at wearecubandchub@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. Yeah, Tim, it was so good catching up this week. It's so good to see your face.
You. Love you.
Mwah. Everybody have a good week. We'll see you soon.
Bye.